Hello guys, welcome back. So in this video tutorial, we're going to continue our profile page. Sorry, our profile page here. And last time we did this card, and then this time we are going to design this this notification card, and then this last one, and then maybe we can continue with other pages. Okay. So what we are going to do is quickly after this card, after this particular card, inside a column, so you see we have our column here. You can just go ahead and then create a new card here, and then we put a chart and give it a padding. Okay, because we want some space around the card like this one exactly. So we can give it a padding of edge insert dot all. That is from top, bottom, left, and right. We need a padding of 16.0. Okay, now we can go ahead and then assign a chart to it, and then the chart will be the column inside the card because our items are arranged in a column form. Okay, so with this one we can just go ahead and then put our column there. Okay, and our column will have some children because all items in the column are children. Okay, the items, these are children. But then when you look at the design here that we have here, you can see that we need a test widget, and then a switch button. And what we are going to do now here is that we are going to use a row for that. Okay, so we can go ahead with a row here, and there are two ways to do this thing when it comes to the switch button and then a text. But then I'm going to use a row and then show you the other way of doing it. Okay, so we can now go ahead and go do the children and then put this text there. Okay, and you say notification, right? That's the test for that. Okay, that's app notification. um App notification. Okay, and then with this app notification here, we can also put a switch button here. Okay, but first I'll comment this line and then save and see what we get. So you can see we have this one here, and our pattern is showing, but then we need this a test here which is saying notifications. Okay, the test there. So I'll just go ahead and copy the code for this one because I wouldn't want to type again for that one. Okay, copy the code and then come here. Okay, and paste and change it to notifications, and then save and then round it up to see what we get. Okay, so we have it, and then we have our card here. So now what we can do now is to let's increase the elevation of this. I think it's 3.0 we gave to the other one, and then save. So yeah, so we have this elevation now, and now we can come back and work on our switch button here. When I turn this one on and then I do it, yeah, we get an error because the switch button is looking for a value. When you put this one here, this one is going to tell you that um there's an error. So the error is to assign a value to the switch before it actually makes sense. And the switch button is either when it's on is true, when it's off is false. So it's the switch button only accept a value of true or false. So we can put true here, the value, and then when we do it, now we have our switch button there, and then that makes sense. Okay, so I want to have the space like we did before inside between our app notification and then the switch button. So now I can just go ahead and inside our row here, I can now go and say main axis alignment and assign main axis alignment dot space between. Okay, because we want the space between the items inside the row. Okay, and now let's just start the test here to a font style. Let me just go ahead, font size to 16. I'm sorry, 16.0. Okay, and then save. We can see it increased, and now we need one thing here. After the row inside the card, okay, inside the card column, we need a divider. So I'll copy the code for the divider we use for this one, because I won't type again for that one. Copy the code here, and then now when I come here I can save the paste the code here, see what we get. So now we have the the space, the divider there. So what again do we have to do? You can see that you can toggle the switch button. When I try to toggle it, nothing happens because we need an unchanged value, or sorry, method or function. What we actually pass to the unchanged argument here is a method, a function, as some people will call a function. Okay, and then this function is to um is to sorry this function is to run when this shift button is toggled. Okay, so we can just go ahead and put our function here. Okay, so this function here, but then you can see we are having an error here because the switch button accepts um sorry, it returns a value. Yeah, when you click on the switch button it returns a value, and then the value is either true or false depending on the state of the switch button. Okay, so we can just accept the value, which is a boolean value because it's supposed to be true or false, and then the data type is boolean. Okay, so now you can see the error is gone. So how do we toggle the switch button when it's clicked? Okay, so we know that we are receiving a value here when it's clicked. So when it is turned on it is true, when it's turned off it is false. So we will know that here will return true or false. Okay, so we have to find a way to put the true or false here so that this thing can toggle. So to do that we have to go up there, and then create a variable. Sorry, not inside here but here. Okay, create a boolean variable, say turn on notification. Okay, and then say let's pass false to it. Okay, because we don't want to turn it on now, so this variable is now holding the value of false. And then when we come here we can decide to pass that variable here. So we know that when we save it, this thing will turn off because the value is false. Okay, so now inside here when we click on this, okay, when we click on this, the value a value will be returned to us. Okay, which is either true or false. So let's just do print statement here. Okay, and see what we are actually getting, the value, and let's say value. Okay, I'm printing this here, and let me save and check my debug console for this. Okay, so let's try to click this and see if something happens. You see as I click you can see the value is true because it is turned off, but I'm trying to turn it on. Okay, and it's saying true. So that means we know that we are receiving true from there, and then we can just go ahead and then um assign that value here. Okay, to turn notification here. Okay, and then when I save it now you won't see anything happening. The reason is, even though I'm assigning the value true to this, so this has to change to true for me to see the change, but then the app is not rebuilding. Okay, so we need a set state to do that. So we have to set state. Okay, this is why stateful widgets are important. The stateful widget allows you to get the set state method for you to rebuild your app anytime you make changes by an event in your app. Okay, so now we can put that code here and then save it. Okay, and now you can see it's turned on to true because I was pressing it, so the value has now turned to true. When I click on it goes back to false. When I click on it it's now back to true. So let's quickly do the same thing for the location tracker here. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and copy this code here. Okay, and then come here and then save it here and change this to location tracker, location tracking, sorry. And then when I save here, you see we are getting an error here, but we will fix that error. So the reason why we are getting an error is because the full size, I mean the full height of the screen is up. You can see bottom overflowed by 30 pixels. So there's no more space for us to add more widget. Okay, and we can solve this problem by going into the body of our scaffold. Okay, the body. So this body of our scaffold here, and what we can do is to um, surround let me just click on this one, surround, I mean wrap this container, okay, with a widget, and that widget is the single child scroll view. Okay, and then save, and now the error is gone, so we can actually scroll, okay, our app, I mean, and then we can now come down here, okay, quickly come down here, and you see everything is turned to true. When I turn off this one, it's going to affect this one because they are all using the same value. So quickly we have to create a new value for the location tracking, okay, and we can come here, boolean, turn on location, and we are also setting that one to false, okay. And now when we come, we are going to use that value here, then on, I'm sorry, no, notification, turn on location, and then we are going to use that same value also here. So now when I turn on this one is still off. I can turn this one on and then turn this one off. So that's it. And now we have to just add the divider, okay, to it, and it should be after the row here. Okay, so we are done with this one. Okay, we will do the functionalities later, so don't worry about it. And now we have this last card here, which is order. So I will go ahead and copy this same code here. We are doing repetition of code. Later we will refactor the code so that you understand how to simplify your code instead of copying and pasting code. Okay, so we can come here, not inside this card, but after this card, you can put this code here. Sorry, I don't know why I got an error. Okay, yeah, after the card, not inside the card. Okay, and then save, and then you can see we have this notification here. So I can now change this to order. Okay, save it, and this time we only need a text widget inside. So with this one, we can create our card here again, card, yeah, and we can give it a chart and then the padding, and then we can assign the padding here, an edge insert, that's all. Okay, just like before, 16.0, and we can give it a chart, and we are also going to use the column for this, okay, and then children, and we know we need two tests, which is language and currency. So we can go ahead and pass two text widget inside our language, and we style it to tester, font size, okay, to 16.0, and then save it, and we have it here, but then you can see that the card is wrapping around the um this, okay, and what we can do here is we can decide to put a container inside the card. Okay, there are so many ways to do this. um Let me see something here. We can decide to put a container inside the card so that the container takes the full height, I mean the full width of the card, okay. and let's just do that, okay, because we want this. Or we can put this one inside the row like we did before, and then just, but that's crazy. Let's just copy this code here, and then container child here, and then put this one there, and then save, and let's see what we get. We still get the same thing, but then this time we can just specify the width here and give it a media query dot of context dot size dot width, okay, and then let's save and see. You see, we are now getting the full width of the, I mean the full